Welcome to Maker Conversations. I'm your host, Tiff Marchand from Night Carver Designs, and today on the show I have Lawrence from Built by Law. I first discovered Lawrence on the Workbench Con account, really liked what he was doing. I got to meet him at Workbench, and then it's been really fun to just kind of follow and see how he's continued to grow. And now he's teaching classes, so it's really cool to just find out a little bit about him. We sat down with Sam from Uncharted Customs and we kind of had a little bit of a Workbench Con ourselves, just talking about the different aspects of social media that we all deal with on a daily basis. A huge thank you to the sponsor of the show, Sabertooth. You can use Nightcarver10 in all caps to save 10% on your purchase. And you guys know those are my favorite power carving tools. And if you want to help support the show, you can head on over to my affiliate links that are linked in my bio. I have some great folks there, especially Carhartt. It is now that fall winter time, and if you don't have a good pair of boots or jacket or coat or something that you need to protect yourself from that weather, it's the greatest time ever to go do that. So grab yourself some gear, help support the show, and let's get on to meeting Lawrence. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming out and hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
No, good. I told Sam that I met you at Workbench Con, and I just really liked your personality. I like what you do, and I really wanted to sit down with you. And I really wanted to have Sam on because, first of all, I love Sam, and it's been a while since he's been on. And he just asks the best questions. So feel free to interview us. If you have a question you want to ask, ask us, And this is really just like a really fun, open conversation, super relaxed. And if you say something that you regret later, just let me know, because sometimes we do. I do.
All right, that's cool. I'm really excited. It's nice to see you guys. It was really great meeting you at Workbench Con. Also, Sam, I know we spoke a few times via Instagram, but I'm happy to, put some actual voice to the words. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, this is the best experience. I love just saying, hey, come on the show and getting to know people that I don't know very well that I'm interested in, because I see that you're out there and you're hustling and you're really, really working hard on this. And I can just see the growth of the orders that you get is crazy. We saw we were just stalking you and we saw you had your whole driveway filled with all these marquees. I'm like, where's he putting them all?
They're going in my basement now, but I had to, first they were in my garage, but of course it gets too dusty. And then I'm just let me put them in the basement. But yeah, my wife's like, you need to get you a shop because I can't park my car and you got stuff all over the basement.
I've been there. You definitely do need
it. I know. I'm so jealous of yours, Sam. Look at you with your filters up there, temperature controlled in there. Ooh.
Hey, I need it right now. It's 100 degrees today. So, and the heat index was 115 or something like that. It's crazy.
And you're in Illinois too, right, Sam?
Yeah. I'm just right next to Peoria, so we're not too far away.
Okay. Yeah, it was crazy hot today. It was crazy. Tell me, where are you?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Okay.
So I'm all the way on the East Coast.
Okay. That's cool. I was out there a few years ago for work. It was pretty cool.
Okay, I'm in Springfield. Cool. I don't know if you know that area, but I'm in Western Mass.
Oh, that's cool. I can't remember honestly.
I assume you're probably going to Boston if you're going to Massachusetts, but you never know. You could be going on a witch hunt too. We have Salem there. It's always fun, especially this time of year. Ooh, I should just bring my kids to Salem this week. I'm that'd be a fun random trip.
Right.
I want to do one last thing before summer's over. That's just spontaneous. I don't know. That's fun.
Yeah.
Surprise.
You plan on going to Ohio, trying to hit Cedar Point before the before it gets too cold, and now the kids are back in school, so it should be a lot slower.
Yeah, that's when I like to go. Cedar Point's fun. I've been there in a long, long time, but that was a fun time.
I'm a roller coaster junkie.
Are you? Man, I don't remember the last time I went to an amusement park, but I love them.
I'm going to Disney for the first time ever at 41, guys.
I've never been to Disney.
Okay, see, I'm not a rarity then.
No.
Okay, all right.
I've never been.
Yeah, my husband's like, I've been 3 times. I'm like, all right.
I don't even remember the last time I went on vacation anywhere. I'm just working.
I get that. I get
Yeah,
that.
you got a new baby too.
Yeah, he's 6 months old in a couple days.
Yeah,
awesome.
How's that?
It's great. It's great. He's a good
How's it
baby.
going?
He's a good baby.
That's good.
6 months is the cutest age because they get all chunky.
Oh yeah, he's getting chunky, and he was like pretty little. Like coming home from the hospital, he lost a whole pound before we even brought him home from his birthday, and so he was like way behind, and now he's just like way ahead.
Yeah.
eating actual foods and not just a bottle. So yeah, rolling around crazy.
Yeah, my son just July 1st, and he can get wild sometimes. So sometimes I miss that diaper phase. The 6 month, the 3 month, the 6 month, you could just hold him.
Yeah.
See, I don't have those fond memories. I had twins. I was just like, oh my God, what do you do?
Yeah.
Where do you put these kids?
2 kids in diaper at the same time.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. First, me and my wife, like, I'll do twins to get it out the way, get our 2 out the way. But as we had 1, I'm like, how can people do 2 at the same time? Like,
you completely lose your sanity and you find relief by woodworking. That's how you do it. That's how I had to. I had to crawl out of that slumber and like really dive into like making hand-rattled signs. Like that's what I had to do. But that's awesome. What do you do for a day job?
My background is engineering.
Okay.
So I work for a utility company here in Northwest Indiana. And we deal with a lot of gas and electric company.
Okay.
So I'm on the side called new business. So we deal with a lot of new customers doing like new gas, new construction homes.
Oh, okay, setting up homes.
Yeah, relocate. So they'll call in for service for gas and electric, and it comes to our department. So I've been there for a while. It's pretty cool. They treat us well.
That's good.
I'd say that's all you really can ask for in a job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you have good people and they treat you well, that's really like the key. So have you always made stuff, or is this something that just kind of happened like during COVID?
So I would make stuff every now and then. But when COVID hit, I really had time to, tap in. Like, they sent us home to work from home. So like, when I would get all my work done, I'm like, okay, well, I got some time maybe I can start this thing up. You know what I'm saying? So I just went out to the garage, started making, and I was like, well, let me start a social media page, So started a social media dedicated straight to the woodworking, and it's been going pretty good. So I feel like the pandemic kind of turned, we ate the fish and spit out the bones in so many words, you know what I'm saying? So like a bad thing and a good thing at the same time. So it was pretty exciting. And I'm glad I was able to kick off.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things that came out of that. I mean, for me personally, that's what started everything for me on the accident. I was just bored. So I get it.
Yeah, I just love that though. Like everybody kind of found their own creativity, or like they really tried something they've always wanted to try during COVID. Like it did bring out a ton of good things. And like it's so funny because like it got oversaturated for us folks that were like, hey, I've been here for a while. Where's all these people coming from? Because I remember sitting here and I'm like, who are all these people all of a sudden? Like, where did they come from? And why are they doing this better than me? But like, it's just so cool to see how many people just dove into something. Why marquee letters? Like, what brought you there? Was there a party you made it for, or like how'd that kick off?
So I was just scrolling one day and I came across like party props, and I'm like, we don't have that in this area. Like, I think that's something I can bring to like Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, let me just try it out, and I did. And I think I posted a picture and I got like a lot of requests like, hey, we've been looking for letters, you know what I'm saying? I can only find them in China at this size, but I need somebody local. So I started off with letters, and then I went into like backdrops, and then people started asking me if I can make like custom props. So the marquees kind of
So
branched
fun.
the other, other different projects, which and I enjoy doing it. Like, first it was tough, at first, like
Hmm.
just trying to learn getting the right angles and proportions and everything. But as I continue to do it, it came easier. But yeah, that's how I got into marquees, and I haven't um I haven't seen anyone yet like in our area to bring them again. So like I was like, I just thought this would be a great
That's
opportunity for the
super
family.
smart. They always say to like
Heck yeah.
think of something that's missing, and fill that gap. So you're
Mhm.
like, hey, I don't see this. Let me take a chance on this product. And it seems to have popped off for you. Do you rent them out or do you just make them and people buy them from you?
Yeah, I rent them and sell them.
That's perfect.
So
Nice.
No,
so
that's like the smartest way to do it.
yeah, I was like, well, I need to have something where I can make some money while I'm sleeping too.
Hmm. You
So
need passive
let me run
income.
them
You
out. And,
do.
So do you get a lot
yeah,
of
right.
like what kind of events? I guess when you're renting them, what are they going to? Like birthday parties, weddings? What's your go-to or your most popular?
Birthday parties are the most popular. I've done
Okay.
a couple weddings, but yeah, birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries. Um, yeah, any event that somebody want to spell something out. Graduation, graduation parties. What is it called? Um, when they go off to college. Is that called a graduation party?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna be
So
like quinceañera. I was like, what are we going
yeah,
for?
right.
Because I can see that too. Mm.
So yeah, it's yeah, it's been mostly birthdays and weddings is where I get most of my clients from.
Nice.
That's a nice business to have, like, because you can grow into that as you make contacts, especially if you have like party planners that you work with. Like, you can
Yeah.
really grow that for yourself. We were just talking before you got on about Andrew. I don't know if you know him from AG Does It. Like, have you ever heard of
Yeah.
him? Check him out if you haven't. He doesn't post much, but
Okay.
he started making different things for his family, props and stuff. And he's grown his business to be
Okay.
extremely profitable for him. And he makes the most complicated shit and he's super technical, but it's just really cool to see where you could grow with expanding your business and what you're making.
Yeah.
It's so cool because I know eventually you're gonna want to move on, but like
Yeah.
to have more things that you could create to rent is like a nice way to continue to build your money, like the passive income.
For sure. For sure. I'll check them out. But
Yeah.
um I do want to get into more things, and I think that's my challenge that I'm facing now is I don't want to turn customers down, but I also want to move on too. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So finding a person that I can train, and then that person put as much heart and care into making the same product that I'm trying to dish out. So
Exactly.
I think
I
that's
hear
my
that.
challenge, because I do want to get into like signs, like sound, and I do want to get into carving, you know what I'm saying,
Oh,
using a
I didn't
rotary tool.
know. Okay.
Um
Now I know.
It's
so it's a
all
lot of
about
different things.
finding that time.
Yeah,
We're
right.
Yeah.
we're we're figuring out how to clone yourself because
Well, I was just thinking as you're saying that, and I'm looking at Sam's shop and like the new products that you've been adding and stuff. I could just see you training somebody to do the things that you do. Like you handle that heat press, like, because that way you don't have to worry about that. Like you could get all the other stuff done. And then, like, if you had somebody who could do that for you, it would
yeah.
just help you so much. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I've personally kind of teetered back and forth on what direction I want to go. I do that all the time. I mean,
yeah,
it's one thing that leads to another. I get a new machine or I want to do all of it, but now I'm still only one person. And
yeah.
it's do I go in that direction of, hey, do I try to figure out how to hire someone that could maybe do this? Is it going to be worth it? Will I have anything for them to do today, but maybe next week it would be packed. You know, it's just one of those things where it's the unknown until you do it, which I'm pretty used to. I just go for it most of the time, but bringing other people in besides myself is something to definitely hold off on until you really know what you want.
Yeah, I agree.
And know how to pay them properly and do your
Right.
taxes and all the other stuff that goes with it.
It's a whole new ball game when you start paying other people.
And then the proper insurance for the safety of their well-being inside of your shop. Like the list goes on of the things that you have to think about when you run a small business. It's like, I'd love to have my cousin's kid come hang out and do this for me.
Sign his waiver.
No, right.
So yeah, but yeah, those are my challenges. I do want to get into different things, but and it's projects that I want to just make just to, just off a general purpose. But it's like balancing what you have and then balancing family and then balancing on 9 to 5. It can get tough. Creating
always
content.
a balance.
No, it's really tough. Like both Sam and I have done this with day jobs and stuff. And wait, did you quit right away? Or did you have a job in balancing making Sam, or did you just go straight into it?
Yeah.
Okay, you did. I thought you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not for long because I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Yes.
I gotta do this on my own. But
he made me so proud. I was like, damn, you just did
like I think I got my very first laser and started my page in May of 2020, and I quit at the end of the year, like December 31st.
That's right. Okay, you did it for a bit. Yeah. But it's a struggle when like you find this passion and it's making you money and you're like, well, how much money could I make if I was dedicating more time to this? Like that's always the thought. But at the same time, it's so nice to have that comfort of the 9 to 5. And if it's not bad and you like the people you work with, it's like, it's such a hard balance. And then you're like, family, am I giving you enough attention? Like there's all these things that it is tough. Like when you're balancing all this, I know all of us deal with that, whether you have a bunch of kids at home or you've got, other things going on in your life. It's a big balance.
Yeah. I think that's another struggle too. It's like, because people ask me, like, would you quit your job and go full time full work? And I'm like, I do kind of like my job though.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah. I'm like, I like it, but, and again, it's like the cushion too, like got my benefits, you know what I'm saying? I still got my paycheck.
Dude, do the duo as long as you can balance it. Honestly, like people, I don't know, always seem to want to push people to go full time. And it's one of those things that has to be the right fit for you. And if you're enjoying your job and your life and you can just like not have to stress if you can't get an order that month to pay the bills, like it's nice because it is harder when you're on your own. There's good months, there's bad months, as everyone said. Like it's true. And you do work all day. I'm sure Sam wakes up and works and goes to bed after finish working. Like you pause throughout the day for family, but it's just like, at least for me, it's a constant
wake up, get the kids to daycare, go to work, go get the kids to daycare, have dinner, put them to bed, get out the laptop, work, go to bed, do it over again.
Yep, exactly. But it's like so worth it too.
Yeah. How late do you guys? What's the latest you guys ever stayed up to work in the shop?
The latest ever? All night.
I say he's gonna beat me on this because not.
I mean,
I'm pretty good about going to bed.
I wouldn't say till the sun comes up, but I mean, well into the late night. If I really needed to get something done, or sometimes you just go down a rabbit hole when you're trying to learn something, and you just watch like every YouTube video there is because you really want to know how to do it. I've been there.
Yeah.
I could definitely say I've stayed up later doing research or designing.
Yeah.
Like the designing
I'm
aspect.
not out here.
Up.
I'm not out here late. This
No.
is as late as I'm out here. I usually shut the shop down when I pick up my kids, and then I don't come back out here. I've kind of drawn the line there a while ago that I'm not going to use that time to do this. And again, when the kids go to bed, I'll sit in the living room and still be around my wife. And we can still talk and have a conversation while I'm on the computer, but I try to cut it off as best I can.
Yeah, that's good.
When I worked my day job, though, I primarily worked from 7:30 ish to 8 o'clock at night. and then till around 10:30, 11. Like midnight is only if I was just like hypnotized by what I was doing. But I still had to get up early and go to work. So like if I was doing that, I'm punishing myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did carve at night, like hence why I called myself Night Carver Designs. Like it's
Okay.
but like that's the only reason I was doing it is because I had the day job. Now I try to carve as early as possible in the morning so that way I can paint at night. Like if I wasn't doing this, I'd be painting right now.
Nice.
Because she
And I-
needs the rest of her makeup and she needs some eyelashes.
It looks good.
She's looking a little freaky back there without those eyelashes, though. I don't know. And some pupils, maybe.
He's back there posted.
It's so funny because I was like, I better text these guys and like warn them that I planned on putting her behind me, just in case. Hey, it's not Chucky. I feel like Chucky gives more trauma to people than Tiffany does.
Yeah. I feel like she's a little more easygoing than Chucky.
It's because he always gets like a melted face or some shit too, so it makes it even worse. He always gets messed up.
He be going. He's consistent though. He get messed up and get right back.
He just keeps on going. He's resilient.
Yeah, there you go.
He could run a small business. He'd make it.
That's right.
Are you enjoying like making the other props now instead of just like the marquees? Like, is that giving you kind of like a relief, a little bit more creativity?
It is. So right now I'm working on a podium or a lectern, I guess you can say. So when I get new projects, I do get excited. Like it's like, ooh, it's coming together.
Yeah.
Ooh. So like I found myself like same way sounds like digging myself into a rabbit hole, and I'm like, well, I just got to get this done because it's new. You know what I'm saying? I'm not working on the same thing I've been working on. So yes. So like when I do get new projects, I feel like I find myself staying up later. I mean, I do work at night anyways because I try to, once I get off my 9 to 5, I try to dedicate some time to the family and then shop. But like if I'm working on something new, like I'm gonna just check me out. I'm gonna be out there all night.
Hi, baby.
Right.
It's making us money. I gotta go.
That's like I see a lot of your videos. That's why they're like it's dark a lot of times, where it's getting dark when you're out there doing that outside. But you got to do it when you can do it.
Yeah.
But it makes the lighted stuff light
I was
up,
just gonna say when he's working on a marquee, it's perfect because he could test out the lights outside and have that nice.
Yeah.
Your neighbors are always like, "Oh, he's glowing out there again."
Right.
Every time I see one of your, especially if you're doing like a letter, it's just like I just always think in my head like, Sesame Street. I'm like, brought to you by the letter J. It's just what it reminds me of every time.
Oh my God, you should totally, I don't know if that's your personality, but that would be hilarious to do like a Sesame Street intro for your letters.
That'd be pretty cool.
Or the numbers. I mean, they got the count too.
That's true. Oh my God.
Yep, they do got the count.
Please get a Dracula costume.
I did a sign, a Sesame Street sign before too. It was like it was for a birthday party. Instead of Sesame Street, it said like the little girl's name. But I made
like a street sign.
Yeah, it was like a street. It was nice. It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Well, yeah.
I like that you want to get into like sign making stuff. What kind of tools are you looking to get? Like, what is the next big purchase that you would love to make?
I really want to get a planer. I have a scroll saw that's been sitting in my basement. I'm looking at it now.
Oh, you gotta dust her off.
Staring it down.
Give her a good wax. Get her ready to work.
I took it out the box and everything, thinking like, okay, I'll take it out the box because I'm gonna try to use it next week. It's been sitting there for 2 years. I got it for Christmas 2 years ago because I want to get size, and I'm like, my wife is like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, "I want a scroll saw because I'm gonna just start doing some new stuff." But I ain't touched it yet. It's sitting there pretty. But
what do we have? Let's talk about your scroll saw.
You said what kind of have? It's a Win.
A Win? Do you get the like the stand too for it, so you can, or is it going to a table?
I didn't get a stand. I'm planning to get one, a stand and like the foot thing. I've seen the foot thing that you can use.
That's this Christmas.
Yeah.
This is
Baby, I was just waiting for the stand.
That's right.
That's why I haven't used it yet. I
Exactly.
intend to.
Perfect excuse.
right. I need the stand and the foot pedal, babe.
And then I need the special light.
Yeah, right.
There's always another piece you need.
It is really funny,
Yeah.
like a scroll saw. You could just like go crazy with like your add-ons and stuff, but it's a really fun tool to use. I definitely recommend getting some nice blades. Like, I know like Bearwood sells like a bunch of different really nice blades. I recommend getting some good ones. Don't waste your time buying cheap blades. So that way, when you get on it, you have the full experience because it'll make a big difference for you.
Yeah.
You can talk to there's a ton of scroll saw artists that would share their favorites with you if you just like DM them. So I definitely recommend that because it does.
The Pegasus modified geometry is what they're called.
That's what most people love. Yep.
Yeah.
Get yourself those. And I'm telling you, once you start, you won't stop with the scroll saw. You see how many people make scroll saw art, right? It's because it's so damn fun.
It looks satisfying. Like when I see the videos of them, excuse me, cutting it out. I'm like, man, I can't wait to jump into this. I gotta stop taking orders. Jump into this.
Well, that's the nice part about having a day job, right? Like you can just say like, you know what? I'm not taking news business this month. I need to like put this on. But if you want to pre-order for something 6 months down the line, maybe we can talk, like it's the liberating part about that. Cause if there's something you really want to try, I recommend diving in on it and not wasting the time. Cause like it's tough, right?
I just go in on everything.
You do though. It's like I swear to God. So I met Sam because his friend, Uncle Deli makes it. Introduced me, goes, hey, my buddy Sam just joined Instagram. He started making. I think you'd really like him. And he like sent me his profile, and I was like, oh, I do like him. He's such a nice guy. And like we've been chatting ever since. I don't know when did you start, Sam? How long's it been now?
It's been about 3.5 years now.
3.5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And it's been cool because like we've been like getting to hang out and watch each other try different things and succeed at things. And like it's just been fun to watch it. So like from our experience, we say dive into it.
Just go for it.
Just get after it. Because if that's what you really want to try, it's so fun. And you don't need a table or like a special stand. Just throw it on a table, get a milk crate, anything. Like don't do the milk crate thing, but like throw it on a table and have some fun with it because like it is a really fun tool. Like I have like the DeWalt classic yellow one and I use that thing all the time. Even if it's not for like to scroll out letters, I use it to like take stuff off the CNC and cut the tabs off or make a carving. I prep wood with it. It's just a nice tool to have because
the good thing about them, even if you don't use them a lot, is like you said, you can cut the tabs off of stuff. Or when you have even your fancy equipment and it doesn't work.
Yep.
You have a backup. It's right
when
there.
Your laser doesn't cut all the way through on one spot because it was uneven.
I know a lot of people that will, especially on thicker stuff, just
score it
and then use it as a tracing line, and then cut that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take you like last year or earlier this year. What was it like last year? I took like a month off just to relax, you know what I'm saying, and to catch up with spend time with the family. So this next time I'll take off is gonna be for me projects. But that's a good idea.
You gotta do that sometimes. You really do, because I have a list and always have had a list for the longest time of things that I want to do or content I want to create or things I want to try to make, and they just keep building up. And you don't get to them, and so sometimes I just say this week I'm not worrying about anything else. I mean, I don't throw people to the side when I'm supposed to have it done, but I figure out a time where it's going to work, and I say I'm gonna go for it and give myself some me time because you need that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna take like something.
I hope you do. It's so nice. Like this carving behind me, like that's something I've always wanted to make. Maybe not Tiffany in particular, but it was like I wanted to make another big thing that I didn't like scroll out I don't know if you saw the piranha plant I made, but I basically traced a template and I cut it out first and then glued it together and then carved it. This time I was like, I just want to take blocks and then carve right into the blocks and see what happens. So
that's
like
impressive.
thank you. It's an experiment though. Like I just wanted to have a little fun. So I pitched an idea to Sabretooth and I was like, hey, let's do Halloween decor contest. And they were down. So I was like, yay, I get to make the thing I want to make.
That's awesome. So do you sell any of your carvings?
Oh,
like,
yeah, they're all for sale.
Okay.
She's like, yes, please.
Yep.
Right.
Anyone listening, you feel like getting a really cool carving? I have a full inventory on my website.
Speaking
yeah,
of that, is
oh,
that
yes.
how do you sell? I mean, do you
Oh,
sell
yeah.
through just like Instagram or Facebook, or do you have a website or anything like that?
I mostly sell through Instagram, Facebook, but I just started a Shopify
Okay.
Okay.
about 3 weeks ago. So just something a little more cleaner that people can just go into and
Yeah.
be part of whatnot. So that's been working out pretty good,
Probably
actually.
saves you a lot of
Good.
time too.
Yeah. 'Cause it saves time on sending out invoices and creating invoices from scratch and everything.
Man, I needed a website for the longest time and I just never did it. And then when I did, I was like, well, I was wasting time forever not having one of those.
Well, like it
I-
fields all the questions, right? So if people have 1,000 questions for you, you could have it all laid out on your website and learn from there. Like I got to do mine better. Like it definitely needs to be improved, but it's there. So like there's a step there,
Mhm.
we can always improve it later. But that's
I
cool that
still
you,
do.
you dove into Shopify. That's what I used to.
Yeah. I want to create a website, like just to, because Shopify, you can list your stuff, but I want to be able to put something where, about me and about the business,
Mm-hmm.
with all the, something that's a little pleasing to the eye, you know what I'm saying? What did you guys use? Did you recommend any sites to do websites?
I built mine on Wix, and when I say I built it, someone else did, and I filled it out.
Okay.
But I guess my personal suggestion for what I did is one day I sat down because I could do it myself. I have the ability to. I sat down one night and I said, I'm finally making this website. And I sat there for about 20 minutes and I said, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm hiring someone else to do it. This is taking too long. So I went on Fiverr, which I love. And I hired someone that had experience with Wix and building a e-commerce style website. And then hired them to kind of build the bones. And then I filled out all the information later. So they put the structure, kind of went back and forth with them over the course of a week or two. Like, here's, the first revision, and then here's your second revision. And you just kind of keep going from there and adjusting. And then I finally got what I wanted. I would highly recommend that because time is money. And it does cost a little bit to do it, but not nearly as much as your time is worth.
Yeah. I started on Wix and I did the same thing. I put stuff in there. And I'm like, oh, this is not turning out how I wanted to turn out.
Yeah.
So I'm all about convenience. Like, I'll pay somebody to.
I have found more often than not when there's just little things that I know I can do that I want to do myself, it's just more beneficial for me to take some of the funds I'm getting for whatever project I'm working on and give it to someone that does this day in and day out and can do it very quickly, pay them to do that part that I don't want to do, and keep working on something else. And that was one of the very hardest things for me to accept, was letting someone else do it. But it's been so much better since then. And I'm still kind of bad about it, but I'm still slowly giving up a few things here and there.
Yeah, I have for my logos and stuff, I trusted a really awesome guy, it's Casey Junkie, and he does my stuff for me. So I'll sketch out the idea, send it to him. He'll finish it for me, send it back, and we'll go back and forth. So he's been really helpful for me. I'm actually gonna be tapping into him again. So I found a maker that I really like, and I like his style, and I kind of went with that. For my website, I built it in Shopify. And I do have some about pages and stuff. You can do that in there. So if you need help talking about it, there's different templates that have different things that you can do. But I've also helped people build websites, and Squarespace is actually really easy to use. I have to say it's very drag and drop-ish. So if that's your style too, that's nice.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to.
Or you hire someone. Yeah, whatever way works.
Right, I'm about to hire you.
I think the thing that I love most about what I have and what I wanted personally, and it may be something good for you too, is since I do almost primarily custom work, there's not really, I don't have too many things in my shop. You know, there's a few things that I've made that's in there. But I just have a request a quote tab, and it's just a form. And that form sends me an email with all their information, name, phone number, email. They have to fill out what they're wanting. There's some drop down menus like you want a custom sign, you're looking for engravings, things like that. And then within the Wix platform dashboard, it looks like a text message chain. You got all these people, they're actual inquiries.
That's nice.
And you can just click them, and then you can email them right back in there, and then it all shows up as like a chat. So you can search if you don't remember, the guy's name, but he wanted XYZ. You can just search XYZ, and everything that has that in a chat will pop up, so you can find things. I love that.
I feel like we're having a mini workbench con right now. I just wanted to let you know that's so funny. I wanted to talk about your experience and how you liked going to it, because that's a big thing to go to with a ton of people, and I always like hearing people's experiences.
It was awesome. Like, I had a great time. When I heard about it, when was that, 2022? This was 2023, this past winter.
Yeah.
I saw a post from 2022. I'm like, oh, this would be so cool. Like, I never heard of nothing like this, you know what I'm saying? But it had already happened. So I'm like, dang, I gotta go. So but yeah, I met a ton of people, and it was cool to, just to meet people in person that you just communicate with online, you know what I'm saying? It was fun to hang out with other makers that's, in the same niche as you. It was cool to speak with the brands that was there, and to know that it was businesses and brands there just for, you know what I'm saying, people looking for influencers, So I thought that was pretty awesome too. I learned a lot from the workshops and learned a little more money making tips, some stuff that we learned on the back end, like on even Amazon, having that storefront and how much commission you could be making. Like, I tapped into that. So like,
awesome.
it was cool. I had a great time. I'm gonna definitely be back next year. I already booked my flight, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna drive. I ain't bought my ticket yet, but I'm gonna be there.
I booked my flight, but I'm sure I'm gonna drive. I don't know. It just got me.
I'll take your flight then. I'll take your flight.
So Southwest having a sale, and I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and buy the ticket, because I did that last year too. I bought me a flight to Atlanta, but I'm like, I know I'm gonna drive, but in the event that something happens to my car, I have my backup flight,
They had a good sale.
Yeah.
You're like, click.
Right.
I need to look into that too. We've got some like Southwest points I can use, so I should definitely do that.
Yeah. You're gonna have him sign up for that mailing list, Sam.
Flights from Midway to Atlanta right now. So I mean, if you do go, would you fly from Midway O'Hare?
Probably. For me, it'll just depend on that. It'll be Midway or in St. Louis. It's kind of the same exact distance for me. I'm right in the middle, so whichever flight works better.
Flights are definitely cheap from Midway to Atlanta now. So
yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I flew from there. No, I guess I flew from St. Louis last year. Or not last year, but 2 years ago. It was St. Louis.
I know nothing about your guys' area. So clear. I know nothing about that. I'm just little Miss East Coast over here.
You fly or drive too? When you workbench, do you fly or drive?
For workbench, I fly. There's no way. It'd be 16 hours in the car, and like my husband joins me, and he does not like being in the car for that amount of time. So we'd be fighting by the time he got there. You just need to get out of this car. So we just fly. It's way easier, and it's like under 3 hours.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It was about a 10-hour drive for me. which was
Wow.
it wasn't bad as I thought it was going to be. Like I like to travel, so I like to stop and sightsee and capture content and stuff. So I made use of the time.
That's nice. I'd be okay alone, but 16 hours is a lot. Like 10 hours is not bad. That's like, I can do that. Those extra
Long
six
time.
hours. Oof.
Yeah, yeah. I would say anything more than 11, I'll probably fly too.
No.
I think
He's like,
I'll go.
11's my cutoff.
Yeah. Not 10. Not 10, but 11.
Brought to you by the number 11.
Right.
Keep segueing into. You see, Sam is at the top of his game with his content creation. So he's just gonna keep popping off ideas for us all day.
Right.
Get a
Right.
pen and paper, start writing.
I'm throwing it all up here.
Right?
There you
But
go.
speaking of that, you're doing an amazing job on that. Like I was telling him, like when I first caught wind of you, you didn't have like a crazy following, and all of a sudden I looked, I'm like, whoa, like what hit for you? Like, was it a certain post or was it just like a couple of them that kind of hit in a row?
Um, I think it was my biggest. Yeah, it was a certain post that went off, and then I feel like, well, honestly, I feel like most of it came from consistency. Like
Mm-hmm.
I made the decision, and I was like, okay, because usually when I first started, I would make work on a project, film it, try to edit it, and post it the next day all at once. And I'm like, this is stressful. Like I can't do it. Like,
Tell me about it.
I say that's their life, man. You pop them out. It is hard though.
I'm
Like
like,
I've
okay,
been struggling.
yeah, it's tough, and like
Mm-hmm.
I'm, I was like getting burnt out, so I'm like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna decide to just be consistent. So I had one project where I knew I could get a lot of content, so I just started, like filming my projects, and then I would wait till I had a good amount of content stored up. So like I was like, I'm not gonna post until I have at least maybe 4 weeks of content, and that way anything after that,
Super
at least
smart. Yeah.
I'm saying. So now I got 2 months worth of content, and I can't post every day because I'll get burnt out. So I'll post every other day. So I did that for like 2 months, and I wasn't seeing like any traction or anything. Like I'll get views and stuff here and there, but I feel like after the 60th day, that that post had blew up, and I'm like, okay. So then I posted again, and that one blew up. So I'm like, okay, well, the people wasn't lying when they said be consistent.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think most of it came from consistency, but I think some of it came from after that one post started blowing, it kind of created like a
A nice
snowball.
little, yeah, that's nice. Were you consistent on your times too? Like, were you very particular or was that staggered out?
Yeah, I was consistent I was trying out different things. Like first I was posting at noon. I'm like, because that's what Instagram said my most people were most active. So I'm like, well, I don't want my job to get mad and they thinking I'm on social media.
Oh yeah, that's the challenge, right? Like, do you have to post it before you go to work or like after you go to work?
Right.
It's like you're like, I don't want them to get angry at me. Post.
Let me wait. So
I
now,
scheduled it in advance.
right. I'll wait until to between 4 and 6 now. So like I'm figuring like most people are getting off work, sitting down, they may be scrolling. So I try to keep that. I was trying to do the same with the times too, and it seemed like that helped also.
Do you do the
Nice.
same times every day, Sam? I'm actually now curious.
Exact same time, no. Well, things are different for me now. Ever since the second kid arrived, things have been different.
It's so hard.
But before that, I was Monday through Friday, every day, right around between 11:30 and noon. It was kind of
Okay.
that similar thing where people taking their lunch break or whatever, posting, and I don't do that as much now. I just haven't had the time to do that and balance everything. So it's been more like Monday, Wednesday, Friday for me. And here lately it's been like yesterday and today and just whenever I can fit it in.
Yeah.
But I do subscribe to the fact that I think consistency is the most important. I don't know that time is necessarily the big factor.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not like 4 a.m, but
Mhm.
I think as long as you're posting it at a time during the day, at some point or even into the evening before it's too late, it will still cycle through the next day. Because I don't really think that I've seen a much difference in, the by the 24-hour mark, it's usually roughly the same no matter when it's been posted.
Yeah.
But I do believe consistency in, just posting consistently is the most important. And then there's luck. I mean, it just happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone finds it good and they send it to their friend, and then they send it to their friend, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what you can hope for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about, to me, what I think is about shareability. It's what people want other people to know they saw. And
Yeah.
so that's really what makes things go off.
Yeah. Yep. Nobody wants to see my art.
Oh, I've had so many times where I'm like, I just made the coolest thing ever, and I'm like, this is gonna be a dud, and it mostly is. And then you're like, I spent 5 minutes on this, and everyone's like, whoa,
It's amazing.
Yeah. Like
I-
the ones the videos you put the less effort into seems like the
sometimes.
I have to chop mine down for them to do anything. Like I have to cut off the beginning and the ending of my video and just post the middle. And people are like, "Oh, look it! I like that little glimpse." Ooh. That's what gets them. So I've been experimenting lately. I'll like post one of value and then one of just like some motions. And I'm just kind of curious. That's what I'm just kind of experimenting a little because I can't. I'm exhausted. Like I used to be able to pop these out so quick with the edits, and now it's just like I've got so many little things in the fire that it's like I don't know where I should be right now.
Same.
Yeah. Like
I feel like what probably would, if you have a lot of content, is what I try to break mine up and maybe leave people on something that will make them want to come back.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
some of the, it's like sometimes I would do like, can you guess what I'm making? So
I
the
did one of those recently.
so I feel like the comments that people are guessing, that will help with, I mean, it may be wrong theory or whatever, but I feel like the comments and stuff that they're guessing will help with the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? It'll
Plus,
push it
people
out
just
more
have
because
fun
people are
guessing.
commenting. And
They
maybe
want to
not.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They enjoy it.
So, well, yeah, how to break it up. If you got something where you can split into 5-6 videos, say do it that way.
Sometimes
I would
you
love
have
to be ahead. I would love to be ahead. I feel like I'm always filming in the moment. I'm going to post that in 20 minutes.
I have so much content filmed though, like so many videos that are just edited and they just need one more thing, and then I have to
Yeah.
post them that I can't get to, that I forget to post because I just missed that window. That I have to like go back. So Sam, it seems like it'd be fun to be ahead, but also I'm still filming so much more that I'm burying myself in footage, and then I'm gonna forget that I recorded. Like I recorded a promo for Sabretooth at Maker Camp, and then I look back at my phone and there's like 1,000 videos of me talking to the camera, and I'm like, which one is about Sabretooth and Maker Camp? I'm like, I don't want to watch all these.
Yeah.
So then you have to. It's so hard.
Got to go through it. I feel
No.
like I was posting. What was I? It was recently, in the summer, and I did like a backdrop layout, and I had like on a coat and a skull cap, and like it's 90 degrees here in Indiana. And one of my friends commented like, "Why do you have on a coat?" Like, I'm like, I filmed this in November of last year. Like,
Just getting around to posting it.
yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, at least you have like some cushion to fall back on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing. That's a good
Either
thing.
way, it's a struggle, and it's a ton of fun, and that's why we do it. But like it is, no matter what's going on, you might be struggling to film and edit and turn it around that same day, or You might have too much that you can't get to. Like, it is a struggle, but we love it.
Yeah.
That's the
Fun.
whole point. And it's just so fun. Like, when you start building a community and you start interacting with people, and then you want to like interact with them on their pages too, if they're also content creators. It's just so
Yeah.
cool to be a part of such a big community. Cause like the majority of the people that comment my stuff are other makers, you know, like
Yeah.
I feel like the people out there in the world, I only have woodworkers that follow me now. Like, I don't know if there
Yeah.
is other people. It's gotten to that point because my community is so strong now. I'm like, oh gosh. Do you feel that too, Sam, sometimes?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll get I'll get new people that follow along or message me that are like, hey, I just started following you. I like what you're doing. But I mean, those are usually people that are newly trying to make,
Be a maker. Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, I would say it's about that way too.
It is tough to sell when you have that kind of a following too. Like, I've just got to get better at being like marketing my art rather than catering to like, it's so tough though, because like I'm sharing this cool project, so I don't really have time to promote the art that I've made. So it's always interesting. There's always a struggle somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have pretty much transitioned. I mean, I still have a business, but my content is a lot of learning, like a lot of teaching
Yeah.
for other people, and I enjoy doing that. So that's really what it's become. So I still get work from it, but I get a lot of other work outside of that too, from different places, and Instagram's just kind of my place to teach. So
no, yeah, that's becoming mine too. I've noticed that it just happens.
I think I saw are you doing some classes too, Morris?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yep. I got a class
That is
coming up.
exactly. I want to talk about that. Thank you, Sam.
I got a class September 2nd and 3rd. So I'm going to be doing like some hands-on marquees. I'll get a lot of people who's asking, mostly out of town, is like, hey, I want to come in and you teach me. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do
That's
this
really
thing.
That's so cool. So you started having requests from local people, like, or local enough?
I feel like a lot of the requests were from out of town. So I don't want to say.
So will this be digital then?
No, this is going to be in person.
Oh, okay.
In person. I rented out there's a boys and girls club not too far from me, so I rented out their gym.
Awesome.
And hopefully I can tap into them, because eventually I want to just work with some of the youth. You know what I'm saying? Maybe give them a and come in. If you want to do some woodworking and if you want to talk and vent, you know what I'm saying? Just use it as like a mentoring session. So yeah, we'll see. I'm pretty excited about it.
That's really cool. I was going to say, I wanted to know before we head out, because I know we're getting to our time, but what was in the future for you and what direction you want to go into. So that's cool that you want to work with the youth. And it's funny, like the things that you discover later in life, right? That take over your passion.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of, I don't know, a lot of people in the area I live in, they just kind of need some guidance. And I see so many gifts in these young people that can be cultivated, you know what I'm saying? And some people, like even I grew up with, who were just so talented, and they just kind of veered off into the wrong path. Man, you know what I'm saying? This was your gift, so maybe if if I can set up a space or something where an area where we can get the youth to cultivate their gifts or come in and discuss some of the challenges that they're facing in school or throughout life that young people face, and that they have a space to release, or what I'm saying, talk to other peers that's going through the same thing while learning a skill. So that's my goal.
That's great.
Love it. Yeah.
And you're able to do that. The bigger audience you build, the more doors open for you. I've found that over and over again. The consistency that you put in on what you're making is going to do things for you down the road that you don't even know about yet.
He's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah.
And it's just like having that presence there. It really doesn't like building the bigger social definitely helps, but also just continuing to go out there and continue to make content about what you're working on. It really does help open the doors on so many things because people know they can trust you.
Hmm.
They know
Yeah.
that you're out there and you're working and what you say you're going to do for them, you're going to do it. Like it really does help. So I hope that
And
you get there, man. That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
that's really neat. I like that.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll keep you guys posted.
I
I'm a
must say, I want to know. I want to know how it goes. Do
part.
they have anything like that in your area? Like I live in a city and we do have a little maker space that does exactly what you're saying. They connect with like the troubled youth and they have little classes there and stuff. And it's really cool. I have to visit them one day, but like I never leave my house. So there's that.
Same.
There's
Same.
that. Yeah, exactly.
They
But I
they
just
don't
think it's cool. They
they
don't have
don't
anything
have,
like that.
not for the youth, not any maker space for the youth. But I that's something when I was in middle school they had like wood shop. Um and it was something I always desired to get into. I mean, but it was popular too. So like classes were full. You would have to register like, the year before to get into it. So but yeah, I'm excited to hopefully bring that to the city. So we'll see.
No, I
Have
love
you
that.
lived where you've lived your like most of your life?
Yep. I moved to Indianapolis for 2 years for college and then came back.
Okay.
But I've been in Northwest Indiana pretty much my whole life.
Nice.
I've been in Springfield, Mass my whole life too. Like the exact same city. I moved a whole mile and a half away from my parents. I really I'm really adventurous.
My parents live about a mile away too. It's nice to drive the kids down there when we need
It really is. My mom's got a pool. We use her for that. They love
nice.
it. They're like, come on over. We just vacuumed the pool. It's like, great.
Right.
They do all the shitty work that you'd have to do, if you own a pool. It's a great thing.
Right. That's dope.
I feel like you have one last thing to say, Sam, before we go. You look
Oh,
inquisitive.
I was just jealous. I wish I had that.
Right on these hot days too, like that you guys
Yeah.
had today.
No, just like people and family
Oh,
nearby down the road.
where's the closest for you?
My mom lives about an hour away, and that's the closest. Everybody else is way farther.
It's hard. Like I am glad I didn't have kids when I bought my house. I was actually trying to move closer to my work. Like I work in Connecticut at the time, and I was trying to get closer to Connecticut. And I ended up finding this house with a pond in the backyard. It was a beat up old house. And I'm like, I can fix it. I'm young. I'm 27 and single. Let's buy a big ass house with a yard and just go for it. Like,
Nice.
yeah. But it was hard though, because I didn't want to be so close. But now that I have kids, it is so nice. And like my husband's parents are like 35 minutes away. So it's not the worst. It's like, I'll bring him over. You can watch
Yeah.
him. It's close enough still.
That's cool. It's nice to have that support system.
It is. It is. I'm sorry, Sam. You'll get through this though. You'll get through this. We'll do that. This too shall pass for you.
Yeah, for sure.
You need that inspiration when you're in the mix of it with two kids and diapers and stuff.
For
Was your
real.
daughter in diapers still? Probably, right?
What's that?
How old's your daughter now?
She's 4.5.
Okay, she's 4.5 now. She's getting there. All right. She's getting to her independence.
Oh,
Yeah.
for a while. Yeah.
Well, girls do, mature faster. Just saying.
Yeah. She's still got another year before she can go to school, but I swear she could, as far as education, like she could probably at least be in the first grade. Like, and she's just so
That's awesome.
independent.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on. I know we really didn't talk too much about like your background or anything because we just got into such a good conversation. I think of just the fun things that involve like content creation. There's just so many aspects in it and so many things that we're always curious about. So I'm excited. I appreciate you coming on, Sam, to hang out. I feel like we could probably go all night with
Oh, we
various
definitely could.
conversations. So we'll have to chat some more sometime because I am definitely invested. I want to know what happens, and
For sure.
I hope you're talking to Shar about just like working with kids, because if you're not talking to the Wooden Maven, she's a good resource for that.
Do tap into Shar. I forgot she was in the schools. Yeah,
Yep, she works
that's
with
a great
the
idea.
youth in Duluth. Yeah, the youth. She works in the youth in Duluth and Decanter. I don't know why Duluth came out, but uh, but
Tap
no,
in.
she's a great contact. She's so generous. I'm gonna be teaching in Vermont in September at the makerspace that she just was at recently. I came up there and she introduced me to everybody. She bragged about me to all of them. So now I'm gonna be teaching wood carving in Vermont. So thank you, Shar. And definitely tap into her because she's a great resource. She's just so giving and loving, and she just wants everybody to prosper. And she's very passionate about children and like teaching them how to use like woodworking skills. So
yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to reach out to her. That's a great idea.
Yeah, lean into your community. Like, we're here. We want to, like they say, there's room for everybody here. We really love seeing all the diversity of people just trying to do so many different things. Like, you're teaching a marquee letter class to a bunch of people in September. Like, this is exciting. Like, is this your first time teaching stuff like this?
It is my first time teaching. So I've been my friend, like, come on, man, I got to teach you how to do this so you can perfect.
Can't wait to hear about it.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a great night.
Well, thank you guys. And you all.
Welcome.
Have a good one.
I hope you enjoyed listening to the show. It was a ton of fun getting to know him, and I was just really glad to have that time to sit down and chat. I've got a few things coming up these next couple of months. We are just ending October. Tomorrow is Halloween, so